Hey there, and welcome back to Utility Sports. We do have some breaking news in the MLB. It appears that Luis Castillo has been dealt to the Seattle Mariners. Now, this is absolutely gigantic news. Now, why is that? Because the Mariners are sending three of their top five prospects back to the Cincinnati Reds. Now, this is an insane deal. The fact that the Reds were able to net not only Marte, but Stout, Arroyo, and then they had listed Dylan Moore here. It's actually Andrew Moore is the other player that's going back in that deal, another right-handed arm. When you look at Marte, obviously being the top guy in that Seattle system, Arroyo is an absolute stud, really, really young shortstop prospect that has some tremendous upside. So overall, this is a huge, huge deal. Now, let's kind of talk about what the Seattle Mariners are now after this trade. They're a young team that is definitely in that wild card mix. Now, I think when you look at their rotation holistically, it's something to get really, really excited about. Overall, this is a roster that is ready to compete. However, I don't know if they're the true contenders in that AL yet. Now, I think they could be an absolute powerhouse in a couple of seasons, but right now, that's not necessarily where they're at. But I'd like this for the Seattle Mariners with the sheer fact that they're pushing their chips forward. Now, something else that we were aware of, but some seem to find this as a surprise, is that the Rangers were super strong in the mix for Luis Castillo right before the Mariners had acquired him. Now, this does not shock me. Chris Young, the general manager of the Texas Rangers, has been super aggressive in trades and signings since he had gotten there, and that was not going to stop here. Now, I don't think the Rangers were going to, really be willing to give up as much as the Mariners. I just didn't think that was in the cards. The Mariners outbidded obviously everyone, but there was a lot of teams in on a guy like Luis Castillo. With his prowess, with his consistency he's had in his career, he's had a phenomenal season so far this year in 14 starts. He has his ERA below 3. Um, I think this is a player you can definitely trust in a rotation, especially he doesn't necessarily have to be your top guy, but he is an elite number 2 in a rotation. I mean, if you want to make him the one of your rotation, be my guest. But looking at this, Luis Castillo is an absolute stud. Overall, I love the return for Cincinnati. Kind of jump into that side of it. Cincinnati obviously is going through a transition. It's been pretty clear and obvious trying to make the payroll work. That just wasn't in the cards to keep him long term. That just was not what they were going to do. However, this does present an awesome opportunity for the Cincinnati Reds, getting three of the Mariners' top five prospects. That is absolutely absurd, the value they got for him. But it shows you this is a starting pitcher heavy needing market. I think that's very, very obvious to a lot of different people that there were so many teams in on starting pitchers like the Yankees and the Minnesota Twins, and the Mets have been shopping for some pitchers. A lot of contenders are looking for pitching. And, obviously the Reds had one of those, very, very talented, consistent arms on the market, arguably the best arm in the market, him or Pablo Lopez. But Luis Castillo goes ahead and gets dealt. Now, I think overall, let's talk about winners of this trade. I think that this is a pretty good trade for the Reds. I think they win in the sense of the value that they got. On the flip side, though, I look at the Seattle Mariners as winners in the fact that their management is going ahead and giving them the okay, let's push this thing. Let's actually field a really, really, really competitive team, and a team that's going to be able to, compete, make it to the postseason, and potentially make some noise. Now, it wouldn't shock me if they continue to just, roll through the playoffs and go a little deeper than we were expecting, because this Seattle team's good. I think that there's a lot of teams or people in the baseball community are underrating how good the Mariners are. They're a very, very good team. And I think this really kind of helps move the needle for them. A guy like Luis Castillo is going to do some, major wonders for this team. He's going to be a consistent starter, can eat a ton of innings. And I think that's kind of what's in the cards for the Seattle Mariners. I want to say once again, hey, thanks for stopping by. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Also, leave a like on today's video if you did enjoy the content. I had a lot of fun making this. I think that this is going to be an awesome trade for everyone to talk about, and I can't wait to see him in a Seattle Mariner uniform. Once again, thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you in the next Utility Sports video.